for the one, you looking at the one.
To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1.
Looking for the one, you looking at the one. I've been taking my time.
Fox Sports Radio, the Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon live from the TireRack.com studios.
I'm literally killing custom yo for tires.
Allegedly, I feel like it was a big night.
I need 4 tires in the video game.
It's
2 for
the biggest mistake the NFL has made in the last 10 years. Right now, tonight was media night at the Super Bowl. And moving this thing to the nighttime to get whatever they thought prime time coverage was going to be great. That was the big reason the NFL moved to try. Oh, we're going to get prime time coverage. This has been the worst decision, and I don't know how they haven't changed it back, because no one cares about media night anymore. No one cares. No one cares. Because I'm going to be nobody cares. Nobody cares, because I'm taking you back to where it was when it was media day versus media night. When it was media day,
doing auto battles again.
It was a daytime topic that went on from 10, 11, 12 in the morning, whatever time you woke up. And over the course of the day, you got all kinds of fun stories.
Party out.
Had a chance to go viral. People asking crazy questions. Other people showing up, dressed up nuts, doing crazy interviews. And NFL Media Day, it was a thing.
Still day 6.
It was a 24-hour news cycle. It was media day all the way through the day, and the fun stuff overnight into the morning shows the next day before we moved on. The NFL Media Day, it owned the entire news cycle for over a day. It was great. It was everything you expected to be. But because the NFL, for some reason, decided we want to change things and we want to have it on at night in prime time. And what's happened since that's gone on? Media night goes and comes and goes, and people don't even pay attention. Right? I couldn't even tell you hardly anything that happens on Media Day. Not because we're doing a show, but because where you check for stuff, social media, when people are talking about things, it doesn't happen anymore. Doesn't happen. Nothing goes viral. There's no time to appreciate it. It just comes and goes. Like it's something the NFL has turned from, we own this day in the calendar, and media day is a large thing for us, to, well, we're just going to have it at night and it gets over with and we're on to something else the next day. It just doesn't resonate. There's no time for the bits to go viral. There's no time for people to appreciate interviews and questions, because it's done so late at night. By the time people come into work the next morning, what happened at media night last night? Was anything really said? I didn't see anything on social media. Okay, we're on to something else. And you don't get any coverage. And the relevancy that NFL Media Day has is lost. And that's what baffles me the most, is that the NFL doesn't give away days on the calendar. They do the best they can to add days on the calendar. Hey, this day is going to be owned by the NFL. We don't care. We're going to own this day. So to see them give back this day, it doesn't make any sense. Worst decision they've ever made. If they're smart, they go back to a traditional media day on Tuesdays at some point in the very near future, and then people will care about media day again. They'll care about the relevancy, the big stories that come out. Reporters will get to come from other countries and ask crazy-ass questions. And oh, look at this guy being famous for 10 minutes. And the fun of the Super Bowl will own a whole day of coverage. But instead, what do we have tonight? We're talking about some NFL. We're talking about the Lakers with another win, LeBron and the trade deadline, right? Bill Belichick and what's going on with him. Did he or did he not get offered the Atlanta Falcons head coaching job? What's going on with Joel Embiid's injury? All of these things are happening tonight being talked about because the NFL media night can't resonate, and it's not something that people are paying attention to. It's the worst decision they've made in the last 10 years.
Well, allow me to retort. Now, I think moving Roger Goodell's media availability to a
Brazil game
only thing and doing it on a Monday to start the week before you get to media day, that is problematic in a million ways, and tried to avoid some of the tough questions about diversity in the league offices and production and all. Did not go so well. But Kadarius Toney trying to claim he's a number 1 wide receiver. And then, well, George Kittle always brings the heat.
We're starting off hot, and I love it. That is the question I've been wanting to So, it's fun. You see everything online, and everyone's talking about we want Cody, or it's Roman and The Rock. You know what? I'm a huge Cody Rhodes fan. I like Roman Reigns. The Rock, hey, he coined the term tight end, so I'm indebted to The Rock. Huge fan of him. Honestly, my dream would be like kind of a setup.
The Rock is the
Roman
people's
shows
tight end.
up. I saw this online. Roman shows up, signs a contract. Cody's on the other side. The Rock referees. Wouldn't that be fun and special? Let's make it fun and interesting. That was not my own idea, but I thought it was really cool.
Me
See, the
along
road
with
to WrestleMania
Yeah.
has come in because we had the most electrifying force in all of entertainment in Taylor
Smoking
Swift as part of the
again.
game. And then we had the most electrifying force in sports entertainment in The Rock and George Kittle being the huge wrestling fan. There you go. We're bridging worlds. We're
So
bridging worlds.
George Kittle being a wrestling fan is not a huge story. Sorry, it doesn't move the needle. Hey, I love wrestling. Okay, that's great. That's great. You love wrestling. Okay, what?
You'll never be over as a wrestler. George Kittle wants to wrestle. They want Joe Burrow to wrestle.
I mean, Kittle was asked also about, hey, what do you think? You're a Bears fan. You know, what do you think the Bears should do with the number 1 pick?
When Raw is in Cincinnati.
Patrick Mahomes talking about legacy.
How is the average person going to find that?
It's on Twitter.
Tell me where? I'm at the United States, the top.
Yes, you're just looking for trending. I'm talking. Sometimes you got to dig a little deeper. Have you never watched The Princess and the Frog?
So that's what people are going to. I'm going to get online and I'm going to search for all the because that's what we do. No, we look and see. It's got to be.
I don't need to be spoon-fed.
Everybody does.
I go and look for it myself. I bring
you're so
greatness.
Deep. Yes, that's right. You're so deep. Everybody else needs to be spoon-fed. Everybody's like, what is the big thing? Let's look. Oh, it's right here. This is a big deal. No one's sitting here searching. What did George Kittle have to say? What did Travis Kelce have to say? What did Patrick Mahomes do? No one's doing that. No one is doing that. Not one person.
We could have talked about We Want Cody.
No
Didn't
one's
need to
doing
be
that.
media day.
No shows are doing that for show prep.
We can talk
On
about
the
Kobe.
radio or on TV. No one is
Another
doing
guy
it.
from Philadelphia.
It's just not- we're in an age now where convenience has become a crutch for us. And because everything is convenient, well, we're not going to go crazy to go find it. But if it was that popular, if what George Kittle is talking about, WWE trends all the time on social media, on Friday Night SmackDown, everything else. If that was such a big deal, George Kittle, that would have trended, but it didn't. Right?
Well, part of our job is also to tell people what's a big deal, Jason.
Finally, I can upgrade this shit.
And what's fun and what's entertaining.
You can't
Merit-
find that
Merit
this is a big
7?
deal. I can't find it. I can't. It's not on Fox or ESPN or anywhere. Where is anything about NFL Media Night? Tell me where it is. Tell me where I can go other than doing a search on the internet where I can find
I got
something about
two
NFL Media Night.
tires.
Tell me. I know where to go for all the big stories during the day. I know where to go for the fun stories that we sprinkle in all
I
the
know
time.
where to
I know
go.
where to go for
I
all
missed
I
the
know where to
fun.
go for NFL Media Night. But it's not there. It's not easily available for anybody to be able to consume.
Well, I know we don't have our guy Vic the Brick there to give
Vic
us
the
some
Brick
of those,
Jacobs.
great answers and questions and enigmas and riddles, the haikus that he would push on folks. But I mean, second story on ESPN, Mahomes on legacy ahead of the Super Bowl. I mean, they're there. It's not dead. Yeah, it's not the circus it once was.
Not the Knicks. Is that a stop with the Knicks, man? When we win the title, I'm gonna carve the Knicks logo into your car. You have to drive around with it. Good thing we got that on tape. And I'm gonna paint it blue and orange. You're driving around a blue and orange car. It's gonna happen, right?
Name a song.
With what?
Rainforest Dance by Harry Tang. Okay? You want another song? Somewhere Over the Rainbow. You want another song? Cheesy Caves. You want another song? "18 Naked Cowboys on Ram Ranch, ready to get." I recommend an album. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. There's a Light at the Frankenstein Place. The Rocky, yeah. Science fiction picture show. That was my first album. I do know most of the names of the songs, like Time Warp, Brad and Janet. Michael Jackson, Jackson 5, dude. Think about that. ABC 1, 2, 3. That's what my fans need. They need some more Michael Jackson. Okay. Mo Michael Jackson, please. I'm on commission 6. Beast King. 7,800 power. I'm 800 power above what is needed. You want to listen? Seventeen Beast Kings left. 16. 15. Team up attack. Beast King is stunned. 14. 13. 10 left with 90 seconds. Nine left. 65 seconds. Am I going to make it? He's about to get stunned. We stunned him. 7 left. 52 seconds. I'm not going to make it. Six left in 33 seconds. Oh no. 5 left in 33 seconds. Beast King's about to explode. Oh, five left in 25 seconds. I need my ultimate I hit my ultimate. 2 left. 12 to 10 seconds. I need to kill him twice. 7 seconds, I need 1 kill. He's melting. He's gonna live. I killed 19 and a half. Gotta kill 20.
No, just go at the end of Dark Knight, yeah. There we go.
It was Super Bowl opening night tonight, what used to be Media Day. Chiefs were on stage first, and then the 49ers. Those two will meet in Las Vegas at Super Bowl 58 on Sunday. They each arrived in town last night. By the way, Super Bowl players are allotted 2 tickets for family.
and they can go through the NFL to purchase more. San Francisco, for one, tried to get all the family arrangements out of the way before they ever got on the plane last night. 49ers are due to practice at UNLV starting Wednesday, held a walkthrough today. San Francisco practiced at home last Thursday and Friday, and it's
I should have done this mission 2 days ago.
Chiefs running back Jerick McKinnon recently, after the groin injury, was designated to return from injured reserve. He played for San Francisco in 2020. Last Friday, running back Isaiah Pacheco was limited in practice again with toe and ankle injuries, and we still don't know if All-Pro guard Joe Tooney is going to play. It's a pectoral injury. It's not a light one. He did not practice last week. Officially, he's questionable for the Super Bowl. The NFL honor ceremony is Thursday, by the way. We'll find out Coach of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Lamar Jackson up for MVP. We know from tonight the Philadelphia Eagles season opener will be in Brazil on the first Friday in September. The Commanders
Keep saying that shit.
will not be on their staff next season. Bill O'Brien is negotiating with Boston College to become BC's head coach. I guess the Ohio State job was not the dream job. The
I
Boston
think
Herald-
he's actually, Steve, I think you have it wrong. He's actually trying to trade Boston College out of the ACC to a different conference.
Good luck with that. The Boston Herald says the hiring could be announced this week. Meanwhile, at the LA Rams Stadium, work started today on renovations to increase the size of its playing field
Nice.
area because it'll host 8 World Cup matches now. We
Oh.
know 2 with the U.S. This was announced yesterday. The Jets and Giants Stadium will be hosting the World Cup final in 2026.
Not Levi.
The
They
NFL
really
Stadium
wanted
in New Jersey
to
will remove
steal all the
more
money.
seats to widen the field to accommodate soccer. The Rams are going to replace the concrete in
The Mafia got screwed.
with bleacher runs.
Nothing for San Francisco.
More space for soccer. The LA construction is scheduled to be completed by May in time for June's Copa America tournament matches.
Steve, but they're gonna leave up the Harbaugh signs, right?
The Harbaugh signs,
Yeah.
like from the press conference,
No, there's billboards everywhere.
all around
It's the
town.
Harbaugh era.
I'm talking about, yeah,
Can't
inside.
take those down. Not even for the World Cup.
We did mention on the show last weekend that all these NFL stadiums, 11 of them, that are going to be used for the World Cup in a couple of years, they're going to have to replace the
Come
artificial
on
turf
now.
with grass. Of course, that's
Press
gone so
like,
well for the
hit
49ers
subscribe.
practice facility. And also,
Smash the
playing
bell.
fields are under 55 yards wide in the NFL. World Cup requires
That what you
75
wanted?
yards wide. In the
Oh, that would help Tua.
Playing One Punch Man. It's One Punch
Get
Man.
outside the numbers.
It would give Jared Goff more space for his incompletions. I know that. They should have done that reconstruction while he was Rams quarterback. In the NBA's late game, New Orleans with Toronto 138-100. Brandon Ingram 41 points. Cleveland won at 6 straight, 136-110 over Sacramento. Donovan Mitchell 29 points. Mitchell will reportedly be in the three-point contest in a couple weeks at All-Star Weekend. The Clippers got 36 points from Kawhi Leonard, the Western Conference Player of the Week, and the Clips won at Atlanta 149-144. Golden State Steph Curry with 29 points in a victory at Brooklyn 109-98, and the Lakers won at Charlotte, holding on 124-118. Charlotte's lost 8 in a row. Guard LaMelo Ball was out again with a sore ankle. 6 straight games he missed. Lakers forward Jared Vanderbilt going to be out about 3 to 4 weeks with a sprained foot. And in college hoops, Kansas State in overtime beat number 4 Kansas 75-70. Oh, I didn't mention earlier that the Royals contract, they gave shortstop Bobby Witt Jr. an 11-year deal. Plus there's a team option for 3 additional years. It's potentially worth about $300 million. Last season at the age of 20.
I feel like I'm doing the same fight twice in a row, and it didn't give me the reward after 3-star.
I wish with cash off that Mahomes deal.
I don't think the Royals team is worth that much money.
Well, if they can buy the Royals,
You can either buy the Royals or Bobby Witt Jr. Hey, I got $300 million. You can buy one or the other. Thank you very much, Steve. Jason Spencer with Mike Carmen live from the TireRack.com studio as well. Believe it or not, we already have the first controversy of Super Bowl week. It's coming up next, right? I mean, before media night. Before that, earlier.
Come on, WrestleMania Media Night is Thursday. I can't wait to cover it.
First controversy coming up next. Jason and Mike. Dogs.
Oh my God,
You guys about that 2015 World Series.
That's right, 2015. I said it. That's when we took it from the
Weird a little bit now.
Kansas City, and now they're still pissed.
So no, what happens in Vegas goes everywhere.
Wait a minute.
Because your Super Bowl 58 coverage starts here on
No, starts right here. This guy.
Hey, it's Jason Smith. You know, in today's world, it seems the best treatment is reserved for only a few. Well, Discover wants to change that by making everyone feel special. That's why with your Discover card, you have access to 24/7 live customer service as well as $0 fraud liability, which means you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases. Finally, no matter who you are or where you are in life, you'll feel special with Discover. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Limitations apply.
Jefferson touchdown.
I'm Justin Jefferson with the Minnesota Vikings. Hi, I'm Jamar Chase with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Nobody can stop him.
Why do I choose a sleep number smart bed? Because I only go all out. I can't be stopped. Because my sleep number smart bed helps me sleep.
It says
at
to
the right
do
temperature.
insurmountable
So we can take our
stage.
game to the next level. That's
What
why
the fuck is that?
NFL players choose a sleep number smart bed. Sleep next level, perform next level.
And now during our President's Day sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed for a limited time.
Yeah. I can almost afford 20 pulls, which I should do. Let's go into those other rooms in the Hero that I never go to. Command room, nah. Arms room, arm room. Watch this shit. Arms room. So, yeah. Worth the effort. I'm in the arms room doing arms room shit. Yeah. So I'm going into splitting memory chips. I don't want to do that. Radio's on commercial. Okay, this is auto. Game's on auto. Who is this guy? Should I close the window? Don't touch. Don't touch my bartenders. Good graphics. Bad lighting. Okay, okay. Yeah. I don't know, I'll probably go through 10 of these fights. Could have done this on the phone. Awaken the Mosquito Girl was the first bonus character they added. There was a secondary skin of a regular hero. She's just a regular hero. She's no better than a normal Mosquito Girl. Back to the radio.
That's what I mean. It's not interesting anymore.
Because they moved it to the nighttime and nobody cared because they wanted to
The freaks come out at night.
They want to just bury it now. The freaks came out during the day. You didn't see that? Come on, man. They're
in Vegas.
It should be where, hey, man, anybody can just walk it off the street.
Look, Media Day should have been at midnight for Vegas.
What people want, get a little bit loose. If you wanted to start Media Day at midnight going into the next day, that'd be okay with me. That's my proposal.
I'm stronger than a bag of candy.
I think they do that before. So the other stuff.
We wouldn't have gotten George Kittle.
George Kittle's a wrestling fan. Hooray!
I tried to lure you into a great storyline and hook leading to WrestleMania.
He likes
showed no interest.
George Kittle likes wrestling. Okay, that's great.
So what?
That's the biggest thing from Media Night. George Kittle likes wrestling.
Without using your teeth.
God. Yeah, thoughts on a big plot twist.
But we already have our first real
damn it.
controversy of the week in the NFL, and it has to do with
I fucked it up.
49ers practice field. You probably saw this when you got up this morning. Adam Schefter reporting that the Niners, holding their first on-field activity of the week at UNLV's campus on Monday, not happy because the surface was too soft.
I don't
as they
eat
went
candy.
through
I don't know
their
what you're talking
walkthrough.
about.
Now, according to something the
grown-ass
NFL has
man.
called the hardness scale for fields, which just it's its own joke right there.
Nah,
Hey,
yeah,
man, my hardness scale was at 100, man. Oh, my hardness scale. There's a hardness scale for what the fields need to be, and normally fields are at a 78. Average is a 70, and this field, the hardness level was at a 50. What's the hardness level of your field? I'll tell you the hardness level of my field, man. Roger Goodell said at his news conference on Monday night that the fields, hey, I disagree with the notion that the fields are not up to standard. He said, quote, work's being done every day. It's softer than what they practiced on, but that happens. It's all well within our testing standards. So just like Roger Goodell, hey, no problems here. Even though the 49ers were really upset over the fact that their playing field is really soft, they didn't like it, and now it's become a thing day one of the Super Bowl week. Now, I'm glad the Niners have decided to say, hey, we're good, we're going to practice on it, because they look like they're complainers. We don't like the field. We don't like this. We don't like that. I get the NFL screwed up, and here's the first day. We don't like it. We don't like it. And all of a sudden, the narrative is, hey, one team is ready for the Super Bowl, and that's the Chiefs, and the other team is not. So I'm glad at least the Niners said, even if this field stinks, and it absolutely sucks, and we don't want to be on it at all, we're going to play on it. We're going to practice on it, because we don't want it to be a thing, even though the NFL screwed it up by not having this up to the hardness level that it should be at.
Quote, not worried about it at all. It is what
Big
it
babies.
is. In other words, blank you, NFL. We are here.
Get a real
to change
complaint.
anything.
They knew the field was shit before they got there.
You know, do you get
You
to
think they
lodge
just
a
came up with that shit
protest if
today?
Things go awry.
I
Here's
hope
one
so.
thing, you screwed us.
I I just can't understand. And look, there's lots of things with the NFL. The NFL's got issues with when it comes to officiating and different calls, and I get that. But how do you not get the field right? Like, how do you not get the field right? How do you not get the field right
Okay.
last year for the Super
Okay.
Bowl when players were slipping and sliding
Ready.
all over the place? It was terrible. How do the Jets still have to play on a field that everybody in the NFL says this is the worst field in the league, and guys get hurt on this all the
Well,
time?
sure, good.
Injuries everywhere. How does this happen? How does the NFL not taking care of the fields? Where the fields are a drop in the bucket. What is it, $1 million to get a field up to snappy level? Hey, okay then, it's $1 million. It's nothing. It's not. But yet we still wind up with stories about fields not being good enough. This is the second year in a row we have a Super Bowl.
Yeah, sure. I come from the hills. Yes, that's right. His heart best in rhythm with the pulse of the town, a place where football was more than just a game; it was a way of life. With the rising, I'll just go ahead and read that. Let me read that. 1 second. Minimize my game. His heart beat in rhythm with the pulse of the town, a place where football was more than just a game. It was a way of life. Teddy, with his nimble moves and quick feet, with a rising star in the local football scene. One crisp autumn day, a new face arrived in town that would change Teddy's life forever. The Fishman 5678 is here. Dartmouth, a charismatic and mysterious figure, walked onto the football field, injecting and electrifying energy into the air. Fellow Dartmouth fans are in the house. Dart's effortless skill and enigmatic aura captivated Teddy, who was drawn to the game like a moth to a flame. Reading's hard. Teddy and Dart spent more time together on and off the field. Teddy's love for football morphed into an all-consuming passion after my wife left me. But you're canned the story. Okay. Dart, with a magnetic charm, became Teddy's mentor, teaching him new techniques and pushing him to new heights. Yes. The camaraderie between them fueled today's dedication, and soon football became not more just a sport, but a relentless addiction. It's about weaponizing children, okay? Sylvanus Sandolov. Welcome, international viewers from around the world. Okay, the thrill of the game and the adrenaline of the victory became Teddy's sole focus. He trained timeless, neglecting other aspects of his life. The once vibrant and sociable Teddy became increasingly isolated, his world shrinking to the confines of the football field, the gridiron. I'm trapped. Okay. But beneath the surface of the seemingly perfect partnership, cracks began to appear. Jesus, cracks. Dart's influence on Teddy extended beyond the game, and Teddy found himself entangled in a world of questionable decisions and risky behaviors. The line between the law, the love of sport, and the destructive consequences of their actions blurred, and Teddy's life spiraled out of control. Oh man, Teddy, poor guy. As the seasons changed, so did Teddy. The once promising football star now bore the scars of his obsession. His relationship with family and friends had been strained. I know they're Trojan fans. I grew up with it. They liked football before I did. I didn't like their team. I was like, I'll be a Bruin fan. And as the season changed, so did Teddy, the once promising. Okay, I already read that. And that joy of football that had once brought him turned into a relentless torment. What was that, 10 years ago? 20 years ago? Hurricane Katrina. Yes. The addiction to the game, fueled by Dart's presence, just transformed Teddy into a vibrant athlete, to a shadow of his former self. Yeah, there's not much of me left. That's why we have to, not only, it's such bad lighting, it's, the shadows got me on all sides. In the end, Teddy Belcher stood on the deserted football field. I've been down there to Keyser. Yeah. The echoes and cheers and the victories replaced by the deafening silence of the shattered dreams. Dartmouth, like a passing storm, had left Teddy to grapple with the wreckage of a love affair with football that had promised glory but had ultimately cost him everything. Oh man, that's just way too bad. I know I wouldn't even be in a National League city unless they had football. I'd be somewhere else, watching something else. The end. Oh, I love you too. But I keep my enemies close and my friends far away. I have no friends in San Francisco. All my friends are very far away. So you're probably very far away too. So we can't be enemies, damn it. I have to pick a fight with my neighbor. But he's a 49er fan. And it's thumbs down for San Francisco. It's thumbs down. Yeah, I want to get that Brazilian ass playing in Brazil next year. And I want them to call me Poppy when they come back to the World Cup in New York. So, time to go make friends in South America. We have more, with the fires in Chile, we should be putting out fires in Chile. And today I put out a fire myself. Because everybody in California is born to be a firefighter, not a war fighter. Not a war fighter. I just happen to be a professional war fighter too, so, football is just weaponization of the children. Who are you talking to? I'm talking to myself. You see, I actually watch my own show. And I proofread everything I say, so like I'll watch this. Whenever. I'm reading my chat on the iPad. I could stop reading chat. Oh, that's my sister. She just went to the dentist. Yeah. Okay. Now I can have that Butterfinger. Well, Teddy, I just wanted to tell you my story before I went to bed. Keep that in your heart. Thank you. Come on now. Press like. Hit subscribe. Show the channel some love. Tough love. Yeah. 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 You like that? You like the slow transition? And then, yeah. Who watches Retro Bird? What's your favorite show on YouTube? I'm looking for new shows this week, primarily the ones that play the new game I got. I need to watch people play the game I play so I don't make mistakes and I can cheat and I can copy them. You know what I mean? Got any tips for the game? All right. Jack got backed up. You don't see that very often. Can I play my game? Watch this. This is why the iPad is the premium device of this gaming generation. I can play my game and watch my show at the same time. Although it always needs to be restarted. My dirty iPad with my finger scrubs. God knows what that is on my iPad, man. But send me some tissues. The iPad, this is the iPad generation. iPad generation, Bluetooth controllers, not your PlayStation, whatever, by a Sony radio. Okay, I'm starting auto battle. I'm turning my radio back up.
Mahomes is a mishmash of
Mahomes.
Child's Play and Marshmallows, a la old school Chucky from Child's Play, that old horror movie, or the classic from a million years ago that they've tried to remake and it's been a disaster for Ghostbusters, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. But lovable but bad guys, right? Lovable but bad guys. All right, now I'm turning the page. So the Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce got much of the attention.
This is better than Jerry
It
Rice.
was the largest in recorded history for a media contingent around one person at the modern media event.
He's from Cincinnati.
And Kelsey was asked roughly
Just like Roger Starbuck.
10,321 questions about Taylor Swift. And like that was not predictable. Now, he, among the things that I thought were interesting, he admitted, Travis Kelce, that retirement, the R word, he said is something that you got to think about, right? Something you got to think about when speaking with the assembled media. He says, quote, I can't imagine not doing this for as long as I can because I know I'll miss it. Travis Kelce stated, when it's done, I can't put a time stamp, that's the money quote, can't put a time stamp on how long I will play, but I know he's loving every single bit of it. All right, so what does Travis Kelce's, in air quotes, time stamp comment mean? So it means the front door is cracked open a wee bit. And Travis Kelce adding an element of suspense. Just a little element of suspense. And, you know, there's a dimension, if you look at the time-space continuum, the different dimensions that we have in the Twilight Zone, there is a dimension where the Chiefs go out, they win the Super Bowl, and then Travis Kelce bends a knee, and right at the 40-yard line, he proposes to Taylor Swift. She accepts. They go in a pink Cadillac to the Little White Chapel or the Elvis Chapel, and they get married, and then we fade off into the sunset. Of course, there's also the dimension where Travis Kelce plays in the Super Bowl, the 49ers win, Kelce gets hurt, Taylor Swift dumps him, and life goes on. So that's a different dimension. That's not the good, happy ending. That's a different dimension. Now, my advice is the same always.
This fight, bro, this fight's hard, man.
Just keep going.
Oh, man, this fight.
NFL players, and I've noticed this over the years, it's true for all professional athletes, that they're like blueberries, NFL players in particular, highly perishable, and just a couple days removed, much like a blueberry.
There's not enough of them in the muffin.
Removed, you start growing a little bit of mold. You get a little bit of mold, and
blue bread is, you don't eat blue bread.
Little damp, and people will throw you away. You're trash.
I eat no old blueberry.
And nobody wants to listen to your dopey podcast because you're just another ex-jock and everyone's got a podcast. All right, now the last word. So Roger Goodell, I'm going to talk more about this coming up later, but he took a bunch of questions, and it was sketchy at best, but one of the questions that he responded to was about the games in the NFL being not on the up and up. The NFL marketing people made a joke about it being scripted, and some former players have made comments about it being scripted. So Goodell was asked about that, and it was tied together.
I completed my fight.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
See?
So then Goodell's like, well, I don't think I'm that good of a scripter, or anybody on our staff. Goodell stated. He says there's no way he could have come up with the Taylor Swift romance. Could not possibly. Because starlets have never hooked up and stooped athletes before. That never happened. So
This is like how a kid makes a show.
That's good. Successful, beautiful women hooking up with pro athletes. That's never happened before Taylor Swift. Ever. This is the first time. Anyway, of course, he said the usual niceties about Taylor Swift and kissed her ass and all that. So how do you classify Roger Goodell's response to scripted football and Taylor Swift? So the Taylor Swift endorsement, we'll get that out of the way. That's a no-brainer. That's the moneymaker. As for the scripted part, did anyone expect Roger Goodell to admit that all of this is fixed the week of the Super Bowl, right? Tell me you're gullible without being gullible, right? Now, do I think NFL games are absolutely fixed? No. Do I think that things are influenced, hoping that certain outcomes happen? Yes. But I think that's true in all professional sports. I think that's true in the NBA. We've seen proof that games have been fixed in the NBA. The NBA wants you to believe it was just a lone wolf. In baseball, there have been umpires over the years that have been compromised in baseball. But the reality is this, and people like to talk about it, and you like to sweep it under the rug, but the NFL has the right to finagle. They're allowed to finagle. I don't think they're actually doing it, but they have the opportunity in terms of actually determining who wins prior to a match. The reason why the lawyers for the NFL, this goes back.
I'm doing a 20
15
pull.
years or so, but in a court case, the NFL was sued with many lawsuits. You can look yourself, I'm not making up, but the NFL maintained that the legal definition, if you will, legal standing of the NFL is as sports entertainment. Right? They are not a sport. They're
Fine,
sports
fine with me.
They're classified like professional wrestling. Now, if you try to sue professional wrestling and say, well, the matches are all predetermined, they'll say,
That's
well,
what I got.
that in sports entertainment, we're allowed to do that. So if you sue
You
the
get what you
NFL,
get.
hey, this game was fixed. The NFL said, well, yes, we're allowed to do that because we're sports entertainment. So in that legal definition, if you
One
like
more
legal
additional
thing,
free
the
draw.
NFL is under the same umbrella as professional wrestling and roller derby. That's the reality of the situation. So if they had a problem with that perception, then they would change that and be described
It's day
as a
7
sport.
now.
But they don't want to do that because they don't want to have to deal with the possible litigation situation. So instead, there's sports entertainment, meaning you're able to futz around. You can futz around as much as you want. It is the Ben Maller Show. If you would like to futz around and be part of this show, you can join us here. The lines are open. Abracadabra, hocus pocus. You can be part of the program. Speakeasy rules are in effect, but that just means, hey, more room for you and less room for the drunkards that'll call up anyway. But we'd love to have you. And
It just gave me 10 more
also
pulls.
on X, at Ben Maller. That is at Ben Maller. You can be part of the program. Has the NFL been given a demand by a pop culture icon leading into the Super Bowl? We'll talk about that, and
So I just did 30 pulls.
bodily details are out as well. We'll get to that, and we will do it next.
I don't have them, so I need them.
Auto hiring is hard. So library, calm down. Everyone calm down. Library. Well, good news. Express Employment Professionals makes hiring easy. Forget about posting jobs.
Should have had them a couple days ago, probably, but you'll get them all eventually.
Applicants move up to the pros with ExpressPros.com. Express is your full-service workforce solution, connecting you with top talent fast. Every day, Express recruits and screens workers in your area. So when it's time to hire, they have the talent you need ready to go to work. With more than 40 years in the staffing business, Express helps thousands of companies find great team players each year, and they can help you too.
Good,
Just
this
go back,
upgraded.
over
I
to
got it.
ExpressPros.com. That's the website. Remember, each Express location locally
Wow,
owned and
this is
operated,
good.
backed by
I think this is good.
international headquarters.
So we're gonna go.
860 franchise locations. There's sure to be an Express office near you. Listen, you know hiring is stressful, so stop with all the hiring hassles. Partner with Express. Go to ExpressPros.com to find a location near you.
That's his,
ExpressPros.com.
That's his attack buff. I just got it up to rank. What is this? Rank level 5. Level 1. Level 2. Level 2.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure.
This is a rather big upgrade, I guess. Well, this guy just maxed his shit. Good upgrade. Get my shit up. How many do I got here too? Take one out. Na. This is. Still have to get this other one. There's one. Somehow I misclicked this. My Hellish Blizzard. She's got one. Better than going up none. So, is that my final upgrade I said I had? With that daily login. false flag. Back to where I was. Now I can take my 1200 experience from the commission and I'll hit level 30. Now I'm going to be level 40. Yeah, we'll be going up to 40. Back to the radio. It's commercials. What are they going to tell us the basketball score again when they come back? That's all they got. Level 6. I got 143 stamina. You know, the biggest thing I heard today was the uniforms for the Super Bowl. The 49ers will be in all white, and the Chiefs will be in their traditional heavy red uniforms. Our radio is upset that the field is soggy, and they're not really this radio is not describing how great this game in Brazil is going to be. That's just bigger than the Super Bowl right there. The two best teams in the NFC and they're like, they don't even, they don't know who the 49ers are. They're like, yeah. Looking for the thin part. Sure. Running auto battles.
Giant round ball thing that took different advertisements of it looked like the helmet of the Kansas City Chiefs and then the helmet of the
49ers. And I was wondering, is that included is that like all inclusive? Because Vegas, when they bid to get the Super Bowl and they wanted to host it, did they say, hey, we're going to do this? Because it costs a lot of money, from what I understand, to buy advertising on the Sphere. And last I checked, and as I understand it, the owner of the Knickerbockers, James Dolan, owns the Sphere, and not a dime back. Like, there's no deal. They don't give out deals there. So I'm curious how much that was. That must have been included. Right? The NFL's not going to pay extra for that. I think that's the case. Slim Tim writes in from parts unknown. He says, media night is as boring as stalking. Get some good audio going while you're stalking soup, and then it's not nearly as boring. And you need to race. You need to test yourself to see if you can win and beat somebody else. Like, you should have a contest with the other people that work at the store. See if you can beat them. Late night drug tester writes in, says Kansas City cannot become villains yet until they have been found guilty of cheating like the Astros. Or the Patriots. The Patriots, though, that first Patriots scandal was baloney. The second one actually turned out to be baloney also, because the NFL, the PSI on the footballs, the NFL said they were going to keep track, remember, of all the air pressures of all the footballs the following season. They were going to have a detailed report. Well, they never did that, because it turns out, from what we have heard, that the data backed up what the Patriots were saying and not what the NFL assumed. So it did not go well for the NFL. So they just kind of swept that under the rug. And of course, the media that sucked the toes of the NFL never got that up. Shane of Des Moines writes in. He says, Iowa Sam load managers like he's in the NBA. I know. I've never heard of the guy. Does not want to be on the show as much as Iowa Sam. But the good news is Mark wants to be here. Iowa Sam's kind of like Kawhi or Anthony Davis. Any chance he gets to get off the overnight, he takes full advantage of that. Eugene writes in from Chicago. He says, all right, Ben, now that Washington hired an offensive coordinator, where will Eric Bieniemy be next season? So
Sleeping with the enemy.
Unemployed. He's still getting paid, though. So you could just kind of hang out and go fishing and get paid. He's got another year, I believe, in his contract with Washington. So Eugene says back to Kansas City. Well, that's the obvious one, would be to go back to Kansas City. But they already replaced him, and the Chiefs don't miss Eric Bieniemy in the NFL in terms of coaching than Eric Bieniemy. That there were so many people writing think pieces on the interweb and heartfelt social media posts about what an injustice it was Eric Bieniemy was not a head coach. And then he went off, and I give him credit, he went out and tried it on his own. He left Patrick Mahomes. And it turned out he was a total fraud. Washington was actually worse with Eric Bieniemy than they were the year before with the same crappy players. How do you explain that one? Yeah, I think we know the answer to that. Eugene also says, hey, Laker fans, you look up in the Western Conference standings, you will see the Clippers just one game for being in first place. He says, good luck, Lakers, trying to stay in the
One game
play-in
off the top.
tournament. 2 teams behind you are getting better. Well, Eugene, now you've got to look at your NBA standings again, because if you look a little closer, dig a little deeper, and we're not talking pro bouncy ball right now, but if you do dig a little deeper there in the NBA standing, what is the most important number when you're looking about the standings? It is the loss column. Right? That is the most important column. And the Clippers are tied in the loss column
With Boston?
for the top record in the Western Conference. They have been seeing losses with the Timberwolves and the Thunder. Clippers are a half game back
They are ahead of the Denver Nuggets. They jumped the Nuggets because they have one
Figure it out.
bigger loss than Nuggets. And as we know, because we only learn math because of sports, you can make up victories. You cannot make up losses. Meaning, if a team has played more games, like a team like, for example, Minnesota has played, and Oklahoma City played one more game than the Clippers, so the Clippers can make that up because they'll play the same number of games. If they were trailing in the loss column, they would not be able to make that up. Understand? There'll be a quiz on this later. But you won't hear much about the Clippers because of anti-Clipper bias by the Ben-Eds, who do not enjoy the rise, the greatest Clipper team. And I thought back in the day, Rob City, that was the glory days, but this is it. PB writes in and says, I also stock shelves, and I agree with Tim. It's mind-numbing, so I look forward to the show to help get through the night shift. Well, I'm sorry it's mind-numbing. You got to find a way to make it a little less mind-numbing. There's got to be a trick. We have a lot of people that listen to the show that stock shelves. There's got to be a way you can do something that will not make it nearly as dull. Because you don't want to go too quick, right? Because then they'll expect you to go too quick. I've talked to people over the years that do this for a living. And I've been told by people that work at grocery stores at the market that you don't want to go too fast because then they'll expect you to go that fast. So you have to kind of time it and be methodical, because if you do it quick, they'll expect that every night, and then that becomes problematic. Euphemia in Chicago writes in and says, hey, Maller, A+, and a serving of pierogi on the Maller monologue. Mike Vrabel scares the nerd analytic guys. You are not kidding on that. They have nightmares of having to walk past him in the hallways. And he says, how about a Maller nickname rundown? Well,
How about a Maller
nickname
rundown?
And we've not done that in a while, the Maller nickname rundown, so I think it would be rare and appropriate to do that. So let's strike up the band right now. I am known, among other things, as the Spin Master of misinformation. I've been called the band on broadcast to a big token of BS. Many of these nicknames were used on television's Benny versus the Penny. Curmudgeon of commentary, the chasm of sarcasm, the czar of zany, the dark night of weeknight sports radio, the mogul of mischief, Benny the Brazen, the king of zing, Moneyball Maller. That's what we called her when I played baseball. In fact, at the public address system at Dodger Stadium, they called it Benny the Bopper, is what the actual thing. Not Moneyball Maller. They called me Benny the Bopper. We have audio that somehow has been lost.
Rotator cuff.
But Jay Scoop found the audio. Facetious Fox, the Sultan of Insultin, the Shaman of Schadenfreude. There's a Hitman Duty, Jumping Jack of Wisecrack, the Insight of Overnight, Medicine Man Maller, the Nabob of Negativity, the Sage of Outrage, the Pinnacle of Cynical, Prince of Preposterous, Professor of Propaganda, the Hussar of Hyperbole, the Floating Turd of the Spoken Word, and the Mad Hatter of Sports Chatter. And that's only half of my nicknames. That's only half of them. The Lakers need to get going because they're trailing the Clippers. They're looking up at the tuchus of the Clippers. And just about everyone in the West will be looking up at the tuchus of the Clippers soon enough. But Euphemia, that's half my nicknames right there. That's Euphemia from Chicago, home of Deep Dish Pizza, which I'm told the locals in Chicago don't even eat that much of. That's for the out-of-towners that visit Chicago. They eat the Deep Dish Pizza, but the locals just eat what is called pizza. It's called regular pizza. That's what they eat. All right, straight ahead, a pop icon making a request of the NFL. Also, some fatherly details. We'll get to that coming up in a bit as well. We've got all of that content, all of that, and it's really content that you need. And it's mostly made possible right now by Good Ranchers. Take the mystery out of the meat aisle with GoodRanchers.com. Enjoy 100% American steakhouse quality meat and seafood delivered straight to your door. Local farms. I support those farms. That's some of the listeners over the years, and we've got a lot of farmers that are fans of the show and get up.
You think you guys look normal?
To work on the farm. And you can also enjoy $20 off plus free shipping with code AMERICA. GoodRanchers.com. American meat delivered. So we'll get to that pop demand for the NFL. But right now, let's get you caught up on everything going on in the overnight hours. And we pass the microphone over to the Cabana Boy. Then he sat in the cabana at a NFL game. Eddie Garcia.
I think, man, we
to start with the NBA. 6 games on the night, with the Clippers outscoring the Hawks in Atlanta 149-144 LA. Now just a half game back of both Minnesota and Oklahoma City for the top record in the West. 76ers dealing with life without their star Joel Embiid. They lose at home to the Mavericks 118-102. Philadelphia now 4-11 this season without the reigning MVP in the lineup, and that's going to extend for a little bit longer for them. Cavaliers over the Kings 136-110. Cleveland's won 14 of 15, including 6 in a row. The Lakers over the Hornets 124-118. Charlotte's dropped 8 straight. Warriors beat the Nets 109-98, and the Pelicans topped the Raptors 138-100. Brandon Ingram 41 points for the New Orleans. Top 25 college basketball. One-ranked team in action, and that team lost. 4th-ranked Kansas losing at rival Kansas State 75-70 in overtime. K-State 6-0 in overtime this season. 2 games in the NHL. First games after the All-Star break. Rangers beat the Avalanche 2-1 in overtime. Islanders get by the Maple Leafs in Toronto 3-2. A note from Major League Baseball: the Kansas City Royals and shortstop Bobby Witt Jr. agreeing on an 11-year extension, reportedly worth $288.8 million. It includes a club option after the 11th season that would tack on 3 years and $89 million, giving it a 14-year, $377 million ceiling.
How great is that? Bobby Witt will play that entire contract and never, ever get to a World Series. Might not even make the playoffs. And
Certainly possible. But
that is $200 million more than the next closest Royals contract. The next biggest Royals contract. No, literally, it's over $200 million more. I believe you. I think the catcher, this guy's name, I forget. He's been there a few years. I think he's, what's his name? Perez? You know what I'm talking about? The catcher. Salvador Perez, yes. $80 million contract I read, and that was like the biggest contract the Royals given out. This one, $280-something million, and the Royals are still trying to build a new ballpark. Because why not? You know, their ballpark's fine, but they want to build a new ballpark. So we'll see if they end up getting that.
They did win a World Series not that long ago out of the blue.
It's been almost 10 years.
I mean, 10 years is not that long.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Not really.
I barely remember.
I don't remember too, but I do remember.
Didn't they make back-to-back? Was it back-to-back World Series, or did they make one and they won and that was it? I think they made. Did they make 2?
I just remember them beating the Nets.
Did they lose to the Giants in a World Series or no? Can I imagine that? Is that a figment of my imagination?
We got blank faces in the
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Anyway, the previous big contract, Salvador Perez, 4 years, $82 million. Bobby Witt Jr., 11 years, $288.7 million. It is the second largest pre-arbitration extension, the only one bigger, Stero cheat Fernando Tatis Jr. of your cheating Padres at $340 million. But Padres, I bet there's not a day they don't regret. The owner that gave that contract passed away, but I bet they don't regret. I go a day without regretting giving Fernando Tatis Jr. that contract. They are going to Stinko in San Diego for an extended period of time. It is.
You are correct. The Royals did win the pennant in 2014 and 2015.
So did they lose the Giants in the World Series? Right on that.
Looking.
That's more research here. I remember like Madison Bumgarner having a great run.
Yes, they did lose to the San Francisco Giants.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah,
so I'm not imagining
there
that.
you go.
That's not a figment of my imagination that I do recall Mad Bum. Gaga.
Gaga.
2014.
Was that the last time the Angels made the playoffs? 2014.
Hey, wait a minute.
Okay, I'm sorry about And didn't Mike Trout hit a meaningless home run as the Angels were getting eliminated for his only postseason home run? Am I correct?
No, I don't think he has.
I thought he hit one. The game was already decided, and he hit one.
I don't think he has any postseason hits, does he?
I think he does.
Okay.
But we're doing a lot of research now. Now we're doing too much research. There should not be that. Especially in baseball. Looking up baseball.
Come on, hit like and press subscribe.
His one and only postseason hit. He's 1 for 12 in the postseason.
Because I was watching it,
Not
amazed
you.
that the Royals were winning the playoff series. It was, Dopey short series, and then he hit a home run. I believe it was in Kansas City. The game had already been decided.
And I also stand corrected. It was 2014. You were right.
Oh, look at that, Coop! Do I know baseball? I barely remember, but I kind of know.
I was at one of those games with Gavin
Gavin used to work here. Formerly Fox Sports Radio Alumni Association back in the day. We have a large alumni association. And Gavin used to be at this company back a long ago. It is the Ben Maller Show. And let Express Employment Professionals help hire your next pro. Forget about posting jobs, sifting through resumes and interviews. For those unqualified applicants, move up to the pros. Go to expresspros.com to find the location near you. It's expresspros.com. Understand? All right, good to see you understand. Now we're all on the same page. We're good here. Is it true that the NFL has been given a request to pay for airfare? Now, this is a rumor being spread by gossip hound Boomer Esiason, who will be part of the Super Bowl broadcast halftime show, which I believe that right after the game, CBS is going to rack every one of those guys, James Brown, Boomer, Howard, Phil Sims, and say, get the hell out of here. Yeah, you're all done. But for one more on television on Super Bowl Sunday for 30 hours of pregame coverage, and Boomer tossing out the rumor that Taylor Swift's camp could contact the NFL and demand that the NFL cover the Super Bowl travel expenses to get her ass back from Tokyo to Vegas. That's actually going to happen. Yeah, where are the white women at?
I'm
curious. Like Taylor Swift,
she's
kind of down on her luck and all that.
They left me. Bring them back.
$1 billion. The NFL worth a lot more than that. I think Taylor's worth.
Oh, hell no.
She's a billionaire. I remember reading that last year. But she's a billionaire, so. What would the NFL pay for? How much would a flight from Tokyo to Vegas cost on a private jet? As the kids call them.
I don't know. Figure it out.
More than I could afford. The answer to that is more than I could afford. That's the proper answer. We'll take some calls here. It is a call-in radio
Figure it
program.
out.
We talk to you. I know. There aren't many of these left. Most of them have gone away. They have these things called consultants, and they say, no, don't take any calls. And then we take calls, and they're reminded why a lot of those shows do not take calls. That's right.
Hello, Cheesy Man 64.
Hello, Randy. Welcome.
Hey, first time, long time. Hey, Ben.
Swipe down and see old comments.
So, how can we help you?
All right, so I have a theory or a question. You know, like, I don't think the NFL is great, but you did bring a good point about it being classified as entertainment instead of sports, right? So maybe I'm wrong. But
they are allowed, if they wanted to fix matches, they could do it. Legally, they would not be in any trouble because they would just say, well, look at the legal definition. It's like I always bring up.
It's like roller
in the restaurant
skating.
business. You can say you have the world's best sandwich because best
This is
just
the
means
world's best sandwich.
just goes on the other restaurants. But if you say you're better than someone else, you then can be sued.
Best sandwich. You take one cigarette
But years
and you
ago,
have
I'm dating myself
a
now,
Butterfinger
I did
after it.
an interview
Okay,
with
it's a
guy
Butterfinger,
that played
a
for
cigarette sandwich.
And he played against the Jets in Super Bowl III and swore up and down. I was doing radio. I was doing local radio at the time. His name is Bubba Smith. Did a lot of beer commercials, and Bubba swore that the NFL fixed the game for Joe Namath and the Jets because at that time the AFL, NFL was merging together and they were working together. And they wanted to make sure that it took off, and that was a very important.
No, that's the wrong story. The complete story is that the National League needed a team in New York, so they created the Mets before they could make the Atlanta Falcons, and then they made the Cincinnati Bengals, and and then right before the Bengals came in, the Saints squeezed in. So there was 4 teams coming into the league at the same time through the same organization. The National League expansion into New York included the Jets and the Mets. The Mets also won the World Series, just like the Jets. They forget the other half.
No, you gotta win it because that's the Hollywood ending. The Hollywood ending is the confetti comes down, Taylor Swift's making out, tongue kissing Travis Kelce right on the dais there. That's the Hollywood ending. All right, I gotta leave it there, but thank you. I'm hanging up. Do you remember what movie series Bubba Smith was in? You're old.
The Yankee tickets are the best tickets, and that means the Cincinnati Reds could sell tickets in New York without paying the Yankees, including the San Francisco National League Giants. They could go back to New York as San Francisco and play the Mets
I think he was in
like
all.
every year.
He was in a lot of them. Yeah, he was in a lot of them. He was in an episode of Gremlins. There's an episode? Well, the second movie.
The new batch.
Whatever it was called, yeah. Anyway, it is the Ben Maller Show as we bring up old dead actors for 1,000, Alex. But he was a good guy. I liked him. He did beer commercials, too. He was in a lot of beer commercials.
Those old white beer from Miller commercials were amazing.
Yeah, Miller Lite, you're right. Yeah,
John Madden was in it before he was John Madden, so to speak, right? He was just an ex-NFL coach. Rodney Dangerfield was like one of the stars. Bob Uecker.
I must be in the front row.
Yeah.
I must be in the front row.
We'll go to football. I have the highest off-target throw rate from a clean pocket in the NFL. This goes back to 2021. Now, this excludes easy passes like screen passes and checkdowns. This is among all quarterbacks with a minimum of 300 or more attempts. Those are qualifiers, but pay attention. I have the highest off-target throw rate from a clean pocket in the NFL since 2021, excluding screens and checkdowns. The minimum of 300 or more attempts. Who am I? That's the question. The answer, get to it. We'll do it next.
It's the second of today's show. Well, good news. Right after the show, the podcast will be up.
Thank God we got that cleared up.
Just search The Ben Maller Show wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to follow, rate, and review it. Again, just search The Ben Maller Show wherever you get your podcasts.
Ben Mallard.
Mallard here, looking for a super offer for Super Bowl 58 DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered.
Now I'm gonna watch it from right here.
On the big game and turn $5 into 200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Mallard, my last name. New customers can bet $5 to get 200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 58. Remember to type that code Mallard in. The crowd is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or in West Virginia.
No problem.
www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. ckng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
The Solo Stove Smokeless Burning Question of the Day. As we near Sunday's big game, the burning question on everyone's mind is whether Kansas City needs a clean game from their quarterback to win. Surprisingly, they may not. In order to beat San Francisco, Kansas City reached the big game largely with a stingy defense and an offense that was efficient when needed.
Love it.
Smokeless Burning Question of the Day is presented by Solo Stove. Feel the heat of the world's most popular smokeless fire pit. SoloStove.com. The Sultan of Sizzle, the Titan of Toastiness, the Kingpin of Kindling. These are the admired ones, those who've created the prime place to gather. They don't just have a backyard, they have the backyard because they know a Solo Stove fire pit is more than just the ultimate smokeless fire pit. It's a place where friendships are forged, football is revered, and food is enjoyed. Solo Stove, the perfect flame for the big game.
Do you have neuropathy? Are you experiencing numbness, tingling, and pain that just won't stop? Are you taking dangerous drugs that have serious side effects and never fix the pain? If so, please listen to this message. Neuropathy is a serious progressive condition that only gets worse if not treated properly. Call SF Bay Wellness at 844-94-NERVE to get back to doing the things you want to do. There is no drug, exercise, or surgery that can heal nerves. Don't wait until your condition gets worse and stops you from living your life fully. SF Bay Wellness has a time-tested, proven track record of helping hundreds of patients. If you're ready to regain your independence, contact SF Bay Wellness at 844-94-NERVE. Call now to find out how to reverse your neuropathy for just $99 and receive a personal treatment plan that is tailored to your needs. Call 844-946-3783. That's 844-946-3783 and start to enjoy life again.
As COVID begins to spike again, it may be time to resume your nicotine quit journey. Smoking and vaping compromise lung function and may also weaken your immune system. And we need our lungs at their strongest to fight COVID and other illnesses. Giving up nicotine isn't easy, but there's free support at Kick It California. Visit kickitca.org or text Kick Nicotine to 66819. Sponsored by the California Department of Public Health.
You use your cell phone for a lot of things, but you shouldn't have to use it for everything. You deserve reliable home internet that fits your life and your budget. And right now, Internet Essentials Plus from Xfinity is free through the Affordable Connectivity Program.
86 minutes in. This is a long stream.
Included with no annual contract. Go to xfinity.com/free to see if you qualify. Restrictions apply. After program participation ends, Comcast standard charges, taxes, and fees apply. May not be combined with other offers.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your
Some, just a little.
This message presented by the CIF and the California State Athletic Directors Association.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Brakes? We can save you 15% on that. We have OE quality Duralast brake pads and rotors in stock, ready for pickup or delivery. We also have calipers, brake fluid, tools, and anything else you'll need to do the job right. When you get Duralast pads and rotors together, you'll save 15%. It's just part of what makes us America's #1 brakes destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.